straight from the automotive industry event of the year, NADA 2025. Chicks in Charge and Authenticom are bringing you the biggest names in automotive. From industry disruptors to game-changing innovators, we're getting the inside scoop on what's next for the auto world. This is where leaders talk and the future takes shape. Are you ready? Buckle up and let's dive in.
Welcome back to another episode of Chicks in Charge Automotive Edition. We are still here at NADA, still rolling strong. I believe, if I counted right, this is episode number 9 of the day. Number 9, which, for retrospect of how intense that is, that's normally 9 weeks worth of work. So, we're rolling through, we're powering. I got some food in me, I got some caffeine in me, so we're ready to go. When I was looking to have guests at this event, I had to pick very carefully. And I knew very quick in the process that Miss Jennifer over here was going to be on my list. I've seen you, I'm trying to remember what event I met you at. It's been several years now. I want to say it was at a digital dealer in Vegas.
Digital dealer or auto remarketing. I know we met up at an auto remarketing, but I think it was a digital dealer.
Yeah,
pretty
so
sure.
We've crossed paths so many times. Yeah. I had to make sure that I got you on the show and talk about what you're up to. So you're now with Automotive Mastermind, which is a huge name in the business. I remember, I think the first conference I went to, I brought home so much swag, and they had so much of it because they had like this little phone pillow stand thing that was a triangle, and these little rechargeable battery packs, and they always have the coolest swag. And it's funny because it always makes you keep them top of mind. Yeah. And it's like the swag, it always pays off. So you have, how long have you been with Mastermind?
Oh, about 7 months.
7 months. Okay. How has that been?
It's been great. Automotive Mastermind, as you said, is an industry name. Mm-hmm. They started out in one area in just data mining and equity mining, and they've rapidly expanded innovation-wise into how to use data more productively. Their predictive analytics, which is basically machine learning, which is AI, has been around since 2012. So it's been chugging and learning and obtaining and accessing and refining data points for over 10 years. So it's really a very powerful technology. So the technology is great. The people are great. The level of dealer support is amazing. It's bar none the best I've ever worked with.
Well, and you have, I would say, a little bit more AI experience than a lot of people here in the industry. I remember, I think when we met, you were with Stella, if I remember right, Stella AI. And so that was before AI was the buzzword. And it was like, it was almost at the time like the redheaded stepchild, like the thing like, oh, that's over there, but we're not going to talk about it yet. And then obviously when ChatGPT exploded in the market, then everybody had to talk about it and we couldn't ignore it anymore. And it was, okay, now we have to address the elephant in the room. And so I feel like you already have a leg up on a lot of people because you've already been working with AI for so long.
It was a ton of fun. I launched that. That was my first real big exposure to AI and had the opportunity to bring that to market. Great product. But you're right, AI can be a buzzword. It's not really what AI does. It's how it empowers your own product. Right. So most of the technologies here are using some form of AI to improve and enhance their product. I guess there's a saying I've been hearing, if you're not using AI, then somebody who is using AI will replace you. So if you're not using it and empowering your technology with it, then you may not need to think about it.
Yeah. And it's, I'll be honest, I use it too. You know, in the BDC space, I use it pretty frequently for helping with campaigns to past customers. And, you know, we get in our analytical brain. You know, Robin Wilson says it best. It's so hard to switch back and forth between your analytical brain and your creative brain. They're two separate brains, and the ability to jump back and forth from one to the other. And it's okay. You don't have to be that person. Like, I don't have to sit here and come up with the perfect call campaign script or a text message to go out to customers. If I have a machine that I want to give all of the information to, this is the dealership, these are the specials we're running, I want you to be playful and energetic and inspire the customer to come in, and it will pop it out in 2 seconds. Like, why would I not? That my time is much better spent. I have more useful things I could be spending my time on. And I think that's how we have to shift our focus on it.
It is. It's exactly. Somebody else said it today. I think it was Sean Niffen. He said it's not so much doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. It's if you keep doing the same thing and expecting the same outcome. Because if you're doing that, then you're expecting old outcomes
Yeah.
instead of what you need to be doing in the future. So using AI is going to make you stronger at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah, I think every team can find one use of it or another. I mean, whether it's just simplifying a process or setting it up for customer responses. Like I think that's been the biggest conversation I've heard today is let your BDC or your sales team, whoever's answering your first line of defense, your service advisors, let them focus on what needs a human being. And if you have just some quick answers that's just busy stuff, let AI handle it. And I think when it came out, I mean, obviously we run an offsite BDC, and all of the BDRs, start getting worried, and they're like, oh my God, what does that mean for my job? And I know BDRs all over the country were doing this. It's like, oh, well, now AI can do it, and it can do it more effectively, and it can do it faster, and what am I now needed for? And so I don't think that's the right viewpoint on it. I think it's 100% how can you use it to be better at your job?
How can you take the bigger opportunity? You can actually now probably make more money doing more with the work that you have. Exactly. And let AI answer what are the hours of the store today? What time are you open or closing? Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody earlier, like the amount of questions we get in the BDC that are just things that are on the website that the customer just didn't scroll far enough to find, that AI, I mean, scrub the website, find it real quick, give it to them. Like, it's so simple. And I can then be using my time to talk to a customer who wants to leave a $2,000 to $3,000 deposit, but they want to make sure that it comes with a certain set of wheels or whatever, that there's no way that the website's going to know all of the information that they're asking about. And that needs to be handled with kid gloves and handed off to a salesperson. And so we've got to be looking to improve productivity and efficiency, I would say, is probably needs to be the buzzword, not AI.
I agree. In fact, that's where we're really taking a focus with Mastermind this year. Is our product we've spent so much time building this amazing data infusion and technology. Mm-hmm. So we take this great data and then we manipulate it in a way that sales reps can use it. And that still has been a challenge for some reps to actually figure out how to use everything. So we're bringing it even tighter and more efficient for them to use.
Right.
So now, just to your point about scripts, we have now the technology to create AI scripts based on all of the data points about the specific customer. So it knows if they're in market, what kind of deal type they want, what their replacement vehicle should be. It gives them everything they need to get that conversation off the road. It's all about data points for sales rep efficiency.
Wow, that's huge. Yeah. And so when we look at the focus on the sales reps, they're the ones who, they're on the front lines. They're having to call through these customers. How do we get them to finally execute? I hear it from dealers all the time. My sales reps won't make the calls. They won't make the calls. How do we, is it something as simple as really just simplifying the process for them and making it
100%.
just push button, monkey, push button? But
well, they have to do a little bit of work, right. But at the end of the day, if they're too afraid to call a dealer or a customer because they don't know what to say, we've taken that fear out for them.
Good.
If they're too afraid to manage certain aspects of a deal, well, we've given them all the information that they need.
Right.
If they're not sure who's in market, we've told them.
Yeah,
so we're trying to do everything we can to make that easy for them. And another way we're trying to do that is, there are people who buy from your dealership every day through the service drive, but haven't bought a car there. So we can tell you what their propensity to buy another car is based on their behaviors, all of the data points that we have. And now with our new mobile tool and notifications, a sales rep can be on the lot, can be walking through the showroom and get a notification on their phone.
Yeah.
Shasta's in the service drive and she's been looking at a Honda on the website. You need to go talk to her.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing tool to really they don't have to go back to their desk and log in and do all this stuff. It's right there.
Yeah. And the fact that it writes the script for them, gives them the talking points, like I can look back in my past and, when I was in the dealership and hear all of the salespeople, come and ask, hey, when you're calling these customers, what are you saying? I don't know what to say to them. And 100%. If it's written out for them, it saves them time. They can be more efficient, get on to the next customer, and be booking out their appointments. It's
a training tool. So we empower them with the means to learn and talk to customers and close a deal. So it's not only a an information tool, but it actually trains them.
Yeah, and that's what's needed, because sales managers can't train them on it. They're busy trying to desk deals and do all the other stuff and train them on the 17 other trainers that are coming in to train them. So 100%. I was walking over that way earlier and couldn't help but notice that you guys have a heck of a booth here this year.
Yeah, it's been a great booth. I love it. We've got conference rooms, we've got food. So if you're here and you want to come on down, we have a full bar. We've got coffee, we've got snacks. So please come by.
Nice.
If you're hungry, we have a lot of food. So please come by.
Yes. How big is it? Did you guys go the 50 by 50 or?
I think it's 50 by 60.
50 by 60? I was trying to guess based off the size of the ring.
Yeah.
I know this one's 30 by 50, but we're longer.
Yeah.
And more narrow. But you guys seem to be almost fairly square.
It's a good sized booth, and if it doesn't feel too big, I was a little worried, is it going to be too big? You have people kind of lost in it, but it's filled in really nicely.
Yeah. And you guys had a friend Lou over there podcasting yesterday?
Yeah.
Was that much fun?
Oh my God, they just bring so much great energy.
They do.
So they helped us get a couple of some of our major announcements out. The scripting I was telling you about, we call it Mastermind Copilot.
Nice.
Which is that generative AI component. Yep. Talk to them about that. They helped us get the word out about some new Ford pieces that we've got going out. We now have private offers baked into our software, so that Ford dealers and Lincoln dealers using Mastermind can now see private offers directly in Mastermind.
Nice.
It's brilliant. Really awesome for them.
That'd be super great, like for those fit lists and all of that Ford keeps sending out, and the dealers are like, who can call this for me? And it's always me, and I always have to hit all that. So
I think you need Mastermind.
I know, gosh dang it. I think this will help their productivity a lot. Are you? I know you guys are obviously set up here, and it takes so much time to come down from these events and work through all of the people that you talk to. But what other events do you think you're going to be attending this year?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. There are so many. We were just discussing that today. I love David Kane. I always like to do his events. So NCM is now running his event in September, so we'll definitely be there.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be a part of some of the Brian Pash events. Looking at a variety of others, there's several OEM events that we've been invited to. And so when they invite you to come and talk to their dealers, we jump, right? Yeah. So are there any that you would recommend?
I'm hearing a ton of good things, and I've never attended myself, but I'm hearing a ton of good things about NAMAD.
Yeah, NAMAD, we'll be there. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm really going to try to find a way to get there this year. I think for sure I'm doing Women in Automotive.
Women in Automotive, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. In August.
So too, probably as well.
I'm thinking about that one, trying to work on that one, and seeing if I can get there. That one, I missed it the last 2 years. I was at the first one. But I missed the last 2 years. So.
That may have actually been where we met, because I was at the first one too, and then I haven't been able to go back.
Yeah, I haven't either. I would like to, but we went as a sponsor the first time, and so it was a little bit more personally cost effective for us. But I don't know, thinking about it. I'm weighing all the options. We're early in the year. Yeah. Everything's just now getting announced.
Are you doing any of the BDC events?
Not yet. Anthony, we had been doing Anthony Algona's. He did Appointments That Show. We did 2 rounds of that last year. I think if I just saw on Facebook earlier today, I think he may have just announced another one. So I need to look into that and see what's up, and see if we're doing that again. And I'm trying to think. We were going to be getting in with the Kane event for the 20 groups, but I don't know where we landed on that. So we're kind of just... We're all over the freaking place. We just launched an app and
DC20, and you've got so many great events out there. It's nice to see, because they're a little bit more targeted, a little bit more focused on specific topics that make it worthwhile for the dealer to come. It's not just kind of a free for all. Some of the events that are not as popular today, that once were very popular, were not necessarily very targeted.
Right. And I feel that way about, some of the conferences that, it's like everybody shows up, and it's like, okay, well, I'm not here to meet everybody. And so the more granular that these events can get, like the 20 groups, like the OEMs, and where you're actually surrounded by people that, share common interests with you, whether that's Ford stores or whether that's, small independent stores in Kentucky or whatever, with a KI88 or something like that. So I've talked a lot to people today about NIADA. And for some reason, it's like vendors don't think of that event.
I think it's kind of had a little bit of, rocky road the last couple of years, but we used to do it back when I was at Dominion. We always did it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Cherokee group and all of their events.
Oh, yes, Used Car Week. Oh, I missed the last one, and I felt so bad. It fell right on top of my son's birthday. and I couldn't in my heart do it. So
Yeah.
I missed that one, but I'm hoping I can make it this year. I went to that one the year prior and loved it. Loved the people.
Great event.
Cherokee is
Yeah.
amazing.
They are just salt of the earth people, and their stories are so compelling. They do
Yeah.
such a great job.
Yeah,
They
and
really
they
do.
always give awards and recognition and
Yeah.
truly care about, you know, the vendors and the dealers that are there
Exactly.
and really just want to make the best connection. It's not about, it doesn't seem like it's about the money to them, where a lot of other events you can tell like, oh, okay, they're just,
15,000 here, 80,000 there.
Yeah.
They're out there to make money, but they don't do it in quite an obnoxious way.
right.
Yeah.
And that's what's needed. Like, we need people that are focused on building relationships instead of just building their funds.
Yeah.
And, you know, having good conversations. And I think that's what David Kane is really good at. He led a 20 group for vendors at ThinQ Unleashed. I mean, that was some of the greatest few hours ever, just getting to spitball back and forth about what we can come up with this year to help dealers.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what you need. You need the people who help the dealers getting together to bring the newest and hottest solutions.
It is about the dealers at the end of the day, right? I mean, that's why we're here. Is
Exactly.
we are here to make businesses to help dealers more successful. So when you surround yourself with people like that, you are doing well and doing good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all moving the automotive industry forward, and making really big moves. What are you got going on in your personal life right now? Anything fun? I know you had mentioned writing.
Yeah, I did a lot of writing, and some people have asked me to write for them, which I'm flattered by. It's amazing. I do enjoy writing, and I was doing a lot there for a little while, and I had to kind of stop with this new job because I wanted to make sure I got everything right
Yeah.
in my new world. But I want to return to that because I think there's still so many points of confusion around effective account management from a vendor perspective. From a vendor perspective, how do we position AI? And from a dealer perspective, what are the questions I really need to ask?
Exactly.
How should I really be evaluating this? If somebody claims AI, well, what does that mean? And what are the questions I need to validate that it's not going to hurt me,
Right.
not going to expose my data, not going to expose my business to unnecessary risk?
Exactly.
So those are the kinds of things I want to dig in on this year.
Yeah, I love that, and I love that we're so as vendors, we're so dealer focused and wanting to just really give back to the dealers this year. I mean, I think we all know how much they've been through in the last few years, and we're ready to just rock it out in 2025. And I'm loving every bit of it, and I can't wait to see what you guys do this year and how much you guys grow.
And you too. Gosh, Shasta, you've done so much in the last few years. It's been impressive. And I just love to see women doing this. You've taken a bold step, and it's one step, one foot after the other, but you're really growing, and it's exciting to see.
Thank you. It's so much fun, and getting to be here. The podcast is less than 2 years old, and being invited to sit in a booth like this.
I know, right? Look at this.
My main job is just bringing people to the booth and having fun, and it's a blast. And so I have no complaints.
So I heard my CEO say today, and I didn't realize it, and I had to do the math in my head. Our top 4 sales reps are all women.
That's awesome.
I know, right? It's awesome.
My gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to celebrate that somehow.
Somehow or another. I know as I'm talking to him, like, we gotta do something with this. This is pretty cool.
We'll talk about that. We gotta find a way for that. I was just talking to Veronica Dunford earlier. I was talking with another vendor earlier. So we've been doing these women in automotive socials all around the country.
We got to do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was talking to a company up in Michigan. I was like, "How much space do you guys have in your office?" She's like, "I think we can fit like 80," and I'm like, we might need to do something and bring some people up there. So the next one is coming very fast in West Palm Beach, Florida, on February 11th. But I don't know. I think there's one more after that I'm not involved in the workings of. That's after that, but I don't know for sure. But nobody that I'm aware of at WA is like the owner of socials, like making sure that they go off without a hitch and all that. So I'm trying to help them because that's what we need. We need to bring people in from the dealerships or even the vendors that aren't people who come to these events.
Right.
Because you're not going to bring a BDC agent to NADA. It's not going to happen. It's very rare you're going to bring a sales rep to NADA.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they don't need the networking. They don't need the mentorship and the connection.
The connections to grow, right? Because a growing employee is a better employee. So,
Exactly.
And if you invest in your employees, they're much more likely to stay with you.
Yeah, and make you more money probably. Like, yeah, so it's that's something near and dear to my heart. We had actually wanted to start those up before we even got affiliated 100% with Women in Automotive. We were like, we planned it for an event a couple years ago, started calling it the Car Chicks Luncheon. And so when Women in Automotive decided to start doing the socials, like, oh, look, this whole thing like just goes together. So we had the very first one in Kansas City, Missouri, packed it out, sold out.
Awesome.
It was amazing. And so we're just trying to duplicate that all over the country and bring in these ladies, you know, that...
Let's do one in Virginia.
Yeah, let's do it. We've had so much interest in Virginia. What area are you in?
I'm in Norfolk, southeast.
Okay. How close do you to like the CMA group? I mean, I know they're all over the place, but...
Their headquarters in Charlottesville, about 3 hours away. It's not bad.
Okay. Yeah. And then, those aren't bad drives, like scenic, beautiful.
Beautiful drives.
Do you have any space that you can think of?
I work remotely, but I can probably help you figure that out.
Yeah. I mean, we generally, like, I think Houston, we had 50 or so. Kansas City was like 70 to 80. This one we're holding at Kaiser University, so it's going to be really big.
Oh, wow.
They're thinking up to 200 people. So
yeah, I mean, I could see if the rest of S&P Global might be wanting to get involved because we've got some offices in Northern Virginia.
Yeah, we'll talk more on that.
Okay.
Awesome. See, good conversations are had. We just build conversations out of conversations and making connections happen and remembering to empower the car business. So I love this. Thank you so much for coming on
This
today.
was a lot of fun. Thank you.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Check out Automotive Mastermind online. Check out Jennifer on social media, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This episode is brought to you by Authenticom, the business behind the automotive business. And this is Chicks in Charge Automotive Edition, available wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Help us grow. Rate and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.